and it is also this is also comes into a long and short on the two type questions. And in a long question it also asks you that write the function of urinary system in the body. You can also attempt this question in the form of function, means it is also a function of urinary system and function of kidney, how kidneys work in our body. Before starting this topic, I will recall you your previous topic which we have discussed in our previous lecture, the structure of kidney and the structure of nephron. We have studied that in the structure of kidney, nephron is very important. Approximately 10 million nephrons are present in our kidney, and 10 lakh nephrons are in the kidney, and they do very specific job in our kidney. I also told you that nephron consists of two main parts, renal corpuscle and renal tubules. Renal corpuscles consist of that part which have no tubes in them, for example glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, and renal tubules further divided into four parts. So now we will discuss the function of kidney with the help of the structure of nephron, which we have discussed. The function or the main function of kidney. What is the main function of kidney in our body? The main function of kidney is urine formation. It makes urine in our body, which takes place in three steps. So function of kidney, the main important work of kidney is that to make urine, and this function is happen in three steps. What are these three steps? First is called pressure filtration, second is called selective reabsorption, and the third one is called tubular secretion. So we will understand the function of kidney with these three steps. First is pressure filtration, how is it formed in the body. Second is selective reabsorption, how is it made. And the third is tubular secretion. First I will explain you from your book what is pressure filtration. First step is that when blood enters the kidney via the renal artery, we all of know that each and every organ in our body have two types of main tubes. One is called artery and other is called vein. Artery bring blood to the organ and vein take excess blood back to the heart. So through renal, the arteries which related to kidney, they are called renal artery. Renal. So when blood enters into the kidney through renal artery, it goes to many arterioles. Definitely when an artery enters into the any organ, it will further divided into small blood vessels. So these small blood vessels are called arterioles, and then to the glomerulus. I have told you कि pressure filtration, if you keep mind the structure of nephron, it is started from glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. So these arterioles are together in glomerulus tubes. The pressure of blood is very high, and most of the water, salts, glucose and urea of blood is forced out of glomerulus capillaries. So when blood enters into the glomerulus tubes, it enters with very force. So due to this is out. This is it taken with water. It consists of water, salt, glucose, and urea of blood, and it is forced out of ग्लोमेरुलर कैपिलरीज. तो उन ग्लोमेरुलर कैपिलरीज से ये बहुत प्रेशर के साथ जो है वहां से निकलता है. This material passes in the Bowman's capsule. Definitely after glomerular, it will pass through a cup-shaped structure which is called Bowman capsule, and now is called glomerular filtrate. Now this stage is called glomerular filtrate. Glomerular filtrate. In this stage, the blood forcefully enter into the first part of the nephron, which consists of glomerular capillaries and Bowman's capsules, and it has a pressure, so it can enter with water, salts, glucose, and urea of blood. So this step is called glomerular filtrate. The second step is called the selective reabsorption. Definitely, these all parts, so we all of know these all parts have water, salts, glucose, and urea of blood. So the second step is called selective reabsorption. Selective reabsorption is happened in a loop of Henle. Okay, so in this step, what is happened? About 99% of the glomerular filtrate is reabsorbed. First of all, your glomerular and Bowman capsule filter the blood, and they taken out waste materials from waste materials from one side, and the other parts is reabsorbed and back to the blood. But when it taken out from the glomerular, it is again reabsorbed into the blood capillaries surrounding renal tubules. After glomerular, then it come into renal tubule. It is again reabsorbed, and it occurs through osmosis. And which process are happen over here? Osmosis, higher concentration to lower concentration, diffusion means reabsorption, and active transport, lower concentration to higher concentration. So some water and most of the glucose is reabsorbed from the proximal convoluted tubule. In structure of nephron, you have studied it is divided into four parts. First, earlier initial part is called proximal convoluted tubule. Then second part is called loop of Henle. Then third part is called and the third part is also called distal convoluted tubule, and then finally it convert into collecting duct. So the first part of the convoluted tube, which is called proximal, it is again reabsorbed over there. Here salts are reabsorbed by active transport, and then water follows by osmosis. And the second part is the descending limb of loop of Henle allows the reabsorption of water. You also have seen the diagram of nephron. Okay, the loop of Henle is like a U shape. So the ascending limb, the descending limb, it reabsorbs the water, and while the ascending limb of loop of Henle allows the reabsorption of soap. In simple words, we can say the the first step of pressure filtration, many things are entered into the glomerular capillaries and Bowman's capsules with the force, and they are filtered over there. And when it comes into a second step, in which your renal tubule parts are included, they are also forced in them, but they are reabsorbed. Mostly water and salts are reabsorbed again and again. So the distal convoluted tubule again allows the reabsorption of water in the blood. So the distal convoluted tubule, this is the last part of the nephron, which again allow the reabsorption. It means the reabsorption in the kidneys is happening again and again, and the all useful particles which are present in our blood, they are reabsorbed by the kidney and back to the blood, and the all waste materials which are not necessary for our body, they are collected and they are pushed into our urinary tract. Okay, so this step is the selective reabsorption, and the third step is the tubular secretion. Tubular secretion, definitely this whole process is happen in the tubules, and these tubules are proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, uh, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting duct. So when these in third step, tubular secretion, Different ions, creatinine, urea, etc., are secreted from blood into the filtrate in a renal tubule. This is done by maintain blood at a normal pH. Now it's very simple. It's very simple. When these uh, when these parts of the blood when these parts of the blood which consist of ions, creatinine and urea, when they are secreted from blood into the filtrate in renal tubule. In third step, in tubes, in tubular secretions are going to be held, and ions and creatinine and urea are be produced. So this is maintain the blood at a normal pH. The normal pH of our blood is 7.35 to 7.45. This is very important for your MCQs. After the above steps, the filtrate present in renal tubules is known as urine. It moves into collecting ducts and then into pelvis. Now you will understand this process with the help of structure of nephron. You also have seen its previous diagram, structure of nephron. I have told you your structure of nephron consists of renal corpuscle. This is a renal corpuscle, and it also consists of a renal tubules. Okay, you can also see these are renal tubules. So if we discuss the three step, first is called glomerular pressure filtration. How pressure filtration it is happen into renal corpuscles, in which in the center there are glomerular capillary, and this is a Bowman's capsule. So when blood is entered into the glomerular with force through renal artery in the kidney, it is entered. This is a renal artery. It is entered into the glomerular capsules. So it consists of blood, it consists of urea, and it consists of glucose and many other materials. So they all are filtrate over here, and the useful parts of the blood is reabsorbed over here, and the wasted part is again through into renal tubule. Renal tubules, uh, these consist of tubules, and this is the second part of the nephron. Renal tubule, first it will come into proximal convoluted tubule. This is a proximal convoluted tubule. It is come into the urine, the blood comes over here, and in this part again reabsorption of water and glucose is happen. Second step is reabsorption of water and glucose. So a second time the reabsorption is happening again. Allah create our body, and Allah make our system to filtrate and reabsorb many particles again and again in our body. So this is a renal tubule. Now you can see this is coming a structure, the second part of renal tubule, which is in a U shape. This is called a loop of Henle. This is called a loop of Henle. So the descending layer. This is a descending layer. The all water particles which are useful for the blood, they are reabsorbed, and which are not useful, they are thrown into the next step. You can see this is a loop of Henle, and this is a ascending loop. Here is the all salts are reabsorbed. Reabsorption of salts is happened here. You can also see this is a blue part. This is a renal vein which comes out of the kidney. So after proximal convoluted tubule, the blood comes into a loop of Henle. This is a ascending lip, descending lip. Here water is reabsorbed, and this is a ascending lip. Here blood is reabsorbed. So reabsorption of salts and water is happened in loop of Henle. This is descending layer, and this is a and this is a ascending limb. So this process completely happened in this part. This is the second step of reabsorption, formation of urine. After that, it also these all reabsorb parts which consist of creatinine, glucose, blood urea. They all are collected and comes into a collecting duct. This is called a collecting duct. They all are collected into the collecting duct, and here, because the useful parts back to the blood and the not useful part collected into the collecting duct, so they play a very important. This is the third part of the urine formation. This is called tubular secretion. So because of that, when unuseful things are collected from the blood and they are collected into collecting duct, and through collecting duct it is moved to the ureter. If you keep in your mind the urinary system, I have told you urinary system consists of one pair of kidney, one pair of ureter, and then it is collected into urethra, and then it is eliminated from the body. So that in third step, these all in third step these all uh, unuseful materials are collected into collecting duct, and this collecting duct is combined with ureter. So this is combined with ureter, urine is formed and it is combined with ureter, and then it will be moved to the ureter. It will move to the ureter, and then it is eliminate from the body. So these are the three steps. I'm repeating it again. First step is pressure filtration, which is happening only in renal corpuscles, glomerular capillaries, and Bowman's capsules. After that, reabsorption of water and glucose, which is happened in renal tubules, and the first part is called proximal convoluted tubule. Here, reabsorption of water and glucose is happen. After that, it comes into the next step. This is, we are discussing the second step of reabsorption. Then the second part of nephron comes, which is called loop of Henle. It is in the U-shaped structure, and this is a descending lip which absorb the water molecules, and this is the ascending lip. Here is the salts are reabsorbed, and after filtration here, then this whole materials are collecting into a from here the third step is started to secretion. It is collecting into a collecting duct, and from collecting duct it is the totally the urine is formed. Useful parts back to the blood and unuseful parts are collecting and make urine, and then this urine is formed, and then it will move to ureter. I hope you understand it. If you see the box as the final stage, urine is only 1% of the originally filtered volume. So this is very important point. The urine which is formed, it is only the 1% of that materials which are reabsorbed and become the part of our body. The typical volume of urine produced by the average adult is around 1.4 liters per day. It means this is also very important for your MCQs. A person can produce, an adult person can produce 1.4 liter urine a day. Okay, now you will see in your book. This is also very important. The pH, the pH of your normal blood, 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, okay. Above the mention. Okay, after the above mentioned steps, the filtrate present in renal tubules is known as urine, and it moves into collecting ducts and then into pelvis. I hope you understand. This is the these are the three-step formation of urine, and these are three-step also comes as a short question: pressure filtration, reabsorption, and tubular secretion. These steps can comes into short question, and these can also come as a long question, and this is very important. Now you will see the table. Normal chemical composition of urine, okay, which materials are present in normal urine. Water, definitely 95% in the urine. Urea, it should be 9.3 gram per liter. uh, Chloride, it should be 1.87 gram per liter. Sodium ions, it should be 1.17 gram per liter, and potassium ions, it should be 0.750 gram per liter. So this is the complete normal composition of urine, and these are values which help to which help us that which things are present in the urine. So after that, we will discuss about the next topic is about that osmoregulatory function of kidney. When we started the chapter, when we started the chapter, we have seen. Okay, now our next topic is that osmoregulatory function of kidney. You can see in the page osmoregulation. Before starting the chapter, we have discussed homeostasis. Okay, homeostasis means the maintenance of your body temperature according to your environment at equilibrium state despite changes in the environment. So, homeostasis stasis consists of three parts: osmoregulation, thermoregulation, and excretion. So, osmoregulation, what is that? You can see is defined as the regulation of the concentration of water and salts in blood and other body fluids. What is osmoregulation? This is the definition. Osmoregulation is defined as the regulation of the concentration of water and salts in blood and other body fluid. It means it maintains the water and salts in your body, and how they are controlled. Definitely kidneys play important role in osmoregulation by regulating the water contents of blood. So which part of the body help us, our kidney help us to maintain the excessive salts and water in our body. So it is an important process. As excessive loss of water concentration the body fluids, whereas excess intake of water dilute them. So to understand the process of osmoregulatory function of kidney, okay, how our kidney play very important, and they have important function to maintain water and salts in our body. Now question is that, okay, how can they manage our osmoregulatory function? So to understand this part we have to know. Okay, you can see we have to know that when there is excess water in body fluids, kidneys form dilute hypotonic urine. To understand this process, two steps are very important. First is called dilute urine, this paragraph, and second is called concentrated urine. So we understand the osmoregulatory function of kidney with the help of two steps. First, how kidneys make dilute urine and what is happening in the body, and second is that, okay, how our kidneys made uh, concentrated urine and how it maintains our body. So first we will discuss the first step. Okay, when there is excess water in body fluids. Okay, when in your body, when we take excess fluids, excess liquids in our body, kidneys form dilute means hypotonic urine. Dilute means liquid, and hypotonic means you also study the concept in your chapter number 4, tonicity. Concept of tonicity in class 9, that hypotonic solution is that in which solutes are less and the concentration of water is more. So kidneys, when we take more and more fluids in our body, due to that hypotonic solution will be formed, and for this purpose kidneys filtrate more water from glomerular capillaries into Bowman's capsule. Definitely when more fluids will enter into our kidney, so the first part of nephron means glomerular capillaries and produce more dilute solution in Bowman's capsule. So similarly less water is reabsorbed. So in this stage, uh, water is less reabsorbed and abundant dilute urine is produced. It brings down the volume of body fluids is normal. Dilute urine is healthy for your body, because when dilute urine is formed and excess dilute urine will be uh, eliminated from the body, it will maintain the volume of body fluids to normal. So because of that, the concentration of different materials in our blood should be remain normal. And the second part is that when there is shortage of water in body fluids. Now we will discuss the now we will discuss the second part of the urine. When there is shortage of water in body fluids, kidneys filter less water from glomerular capillaries. Answer is very simple. When there is a dilute solution, glomerular capillary filter more dilute solution in the Bowman's capsule. But when we have shortage of water, we are taking less fluids in our body. Because of that, glomerular capillaries produce less water into the Bowman capsule, and the rate of reabsorption of water is increased. In dilute solution, we have studied when Bowman's capsule reabsorption of water is decreased. If we are taking a plenty of water, reabsorption of water will be decreased in Bowman's capsule. But if we are taking less fluids, less water in our body, if there is shortage of body, then reabsorption of water is increased. So less filtration and more reabsorption produce small amount of concentrated is hypertonic urine. Hypertonic, a stage of tonicity in which more solute and less water. So hypertonic and concentrated solution will be produced. It increases the volume of body fluids to normal. This whole process, is under hormonal uh, hormonal control. This whole process is under a hormonal control. So this is our topic of today, that how our kidneys uh, maintain the dilute urine. Okay, you can see also the diagram. These are the kidneys of cord, longitudinal sections, and you can also understand this is a renal artery, and there is a structure of pyramids of cones in which your Bowman's capsules, capillaries, and renal tubules are present. So, for osmoregulatory function, your body produce two types of urine. dilute urine and concentrated urine. Dilute urine is better for the health because it eliminate wasted material from your body, and concentrated solution increase the different unuseful materials in the body. So function of kidney is that to maintain this process. I hope you understand it. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you.